of December. Now, obviously, with finishing work, trying to get over to Wales, I haven't really been able to do much today. So we'll just go over what happened yesterday and we'll see what we can see. Now, obviously, yesterday there was a bit of a mad bit of price action. So again, price tapped into 50% of that large 15-minute wick, had a very strong reaction, came all the way back down, and then sort of moved sideways. Obviously took out Asia low, Asia high. So today, first thing I've marked out, just as a point of interest, just to see how price reacts at 50% of this big hourly wick. Obviously, when we're looking at the higher time frames, daily and weekly, obviously we are pushing ever so close towards these weekly highs, all-time highs. So price just may continue to go higher. Anyway, so Asia Open, we push down, take out the, is that the low of yesterday? Not quite, but got quite close, filled that wick in for the most part, but essentially took any rest in liquidity. We've got this wick at the very top. I don't know if that tapped into 50% of that wick. Let's just have a little look. Oh, surprise, surprise, look at that. So, what are we saying, 250? No, 250. So finally, and again, it's just happening over and over. So what's happened is price in Asia pushed to 50% of this extreme wick. Interesting to see. And then it's just had a slow grind up through. London, we grinded, and then what's that? 230, took out Asia high, came back, took out all that liquidity there. Now, once that's happened, price then closes above this last set of down close candles here. Pulls back, and I think when I had a brief look when I was on my way over, there was a set of 5-minute candles which you could have used potentially. But I think looking at the 5-minute, just because again the 15 is a bit choppy, so it didn't quite tap in. If you weren't sure, you'd then wait for the break of this last down close candle which we've had here, and then on the 5-minute, that then gives us this strong push up, and you've got a nice reasonable size set of candles here. Which price taps into. Now, that would have been about 4 o'clock. So yeah, that would have been just because of the size, the move up. Down here, even if you use the bodies, you would have got a tap in. Such a large area that probably wouldn't have wanted that. So on the 15, that is also pretty much sort of, yeah, just in this wick of this last down close candle. But again, that closing above should mean that this low below here is protected. If I just jump down so we can see what the chart looks like, and then obviously 2 o'clock, very bullish close, price pulls back in, closes above the body, and now we're just sort of ranging about. So that would be the, just because of the size of the block there, I mean, you probably could have got away with a 50-point stop if you're being a bit more risky, just because price can be quite erratic, obviously. And would that have given you a 3R? Well, 6. Not quite 3 yet, so either way, price is still sort of moving, but I'll leave that on. That's what would probably be better on the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, again, price comes up, like I said, takes out all that liquidity. It's very sideways. There was no real movement today until we get that there. But again, interesting to see at the extremes of price, it hits the 50%. You know, with that in mind, would price hit 50% of this 15-minute large wick and then have some sort of reaction? So everything's bullish on the 4-hour. Daily's looking pretty good. So we had a bullish close. Not bullish, that's on the weekly, sorry. So we had a bullish close on the weekly, same sort of principle, bullish close, starts off the week pulling back, going up. So we've taken out previous week's high anyway. And also we've got these all-time highs over here. What does this look like on the 4-hour? So yeah, everything pretty much still sort of moving upwards. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this enormous wick on the 4-hour, given some potential targets. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we've closed above this large down close candle. Coming back in now to that 5-minute block right here. So for argument's sake, if you were to enter now, so say you're filled with 50 points, just for argument's sake, probably come down and run it out now, but that would be a potential potential setup, just to see where that would go. If that was 50, so 1500. So that would be again, looking at how momentum is, we've just closed above this block, closed above the 15 over here. So yeah, that could be a potential setup there. Obviously it's 5:15, so we just don't know how price is gonna react. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll go over sort of the best setups of the week tomorrow. Just had a shower, but yeah, certainly combining these things, looking at how price is moving, understanding the sort of candle closures a bit more, and obviously this week looking at how price is opening. So again, today basic prices opened low, failed to put in any sort of higher low, and then eventually started to move up. So getting a bit more confident with gold. I remember there was a time where gold would just be impossible to trade because you didn't know what's going on, but certainly waiting for New York does seem to lend itself to better potential setups. And yeah, we can just sort of take it from there.